London Met's a university that offers something else. I came here for the course, sure, and what I've learned has gone into my own successful business. I even named it after the studio I used to study in. But a big factor in me coming here was the people. They came from all different backgrounds, from all over the world. It's not cliques, it's not elites, it's genuine diversity. And that reflects the London I know.
When I was studying for my A-levels, I took part in revision workshops hosted by London Met and its student ambassadors. The Super Lab instantly caught my attention. I mean, it's one of the best in Europe, and it really opened my eyes to what the Faculty of Life Sciences and Computing could offer. Little did I know that the Super Lab would become a second home to me over the next 3 years.
For me, London is different people, cultures, and flavours. Everyone's got their own ambitions, but whether it's running your own business like it was for me, or landing your dream job, London Met gives you the practical tools to turn those ambitions into reality. I got advice, support, and mentoring. I got access to amazing industry contacts. That meant I wasn't just writing about my business for my dissertation. I was able to get out there and make it happen.
My dad taught me that in life you have to accept a challenge. It was that which drove me to start a business. During my studies, the London Met Accelerator provided me with the office space, the business structure, funding, and invaluable advice. The Guildhall Faculty of Business and Law offers a balance between practice and theory, to take risks and accept the challenge.
I've lived in Malaysia, New Zealand, and England, respectively. When you travel, you learn about identities of others, and this sparked my interest in performing arts. I came to London Met in search of both practical experience and theoretical understanding. What the Faculty of Social Sciences and Humanities offers is freedom to engage with new ideas, a rounded, challenging teaching style that instills confidence.
I chose my course because of its history and reputation. I felt like I was following in the footsteps of the kind of artists and craftspeople I aspired to. But it was also important I could study part-time, so I could carry on working. London Met's location is so central, and made this really easy for me. At the CAS where I was based, you're in the East End, the heart of London's design industry.
I worked as a photographer for 30 years and reached a point where I just wanted to explore my own creative potential. What the CAS enables you to do is to use technical knowledge to manifest creativity. I came here in search of my own creative potential, but I've actually gained the ability to bring that potential out in others.
All right, and we're live. Welcome to our third live session with GSP. Today, we're very excited to have Mr. K.N. Drew, the Deputy Head of International Development for London Metropolitan University in the UK. And today, K.N. is bringing a lot of information that is very useful for our students who are looking to study in the UK. What's the lifestyle like in London, and what to expect when coming to study in the UK. So over to you, K.N., to say hello to our audience from Vietnam and the Philippines.
Yes, thank you, Anne, for that introduction, and thank you everybody for coming to listen to the presentation, ask any questions at the end of my presentation as well. So I'm very delighted to be here today and to talk to you a little bit about our university. And by all means, please do send your questions through the chat, and then we will pick it up afterwards. So we will have a short presentation to begin with, and to give you some general information about the university. And you may have any specific questions, and feel free to to ask. So shall we begin? Cool. And so as Annie introduced me, so I'm the Deputy Head of International Development at the London Metropolitan University. So I oversee the international student recruitment across all markets, but my priority market is for Asia. So if you have any questions about Asia, feel free to ask. So that's a quick introduction about me. So let's move on to the next slide, which is about our location. So as you can tell from our name, and that we are in London. So we are in central London. So we have two campuses across London. So both of them are very centrally located. So the first one I'd like to talk to you is about our Aldgate campus. So our Aldgate campus is in Zone 1 and is in the City of London. So it's about 15 minutes walk to the Tower Bridge, which is one of the London landmarks. And also it's very close to, to a range of places that students can go and enjoy themselves about London. And also our second campus is our Holloway campus. So if you are an Arsenal fan, so if you're very passionate about football in the UK, and you must have heard Arsenal as a football club. So we are right next to their stadium, so which is called Emirates Stadium. So it's about literally 2 or 3 minutes walk. You'll be right in front of the stadium, and which is loved by a lot of students. And also for this particular Holloway campus, and student can take a tube to King's Cross or Chinatown, for example, within 10 minutes. So which is very convenient. Student can get all kind of food or shops that they like, and also it's about 15 minutes to the Oxford Street, where students can do their shopping as well. And so for students who study at architecture and design, and they will be taught at our Aldgate campus. So although we have two campuses, students don't have to travel cross campus. So as I mentioned, so if students want to study at architecture and design, and they will be taught at our Aldgate campus, and all other subjects will be taught at our Holloway campus. So that's about our campus. And also both campuses are well linked with all the airports, so students can get in by using public transportation if they like. Okay, thanks, Annie, and let's move on to the next one. So just want to give you a quick view about how the campus looks like. And also, London is very sort of busy and crowded at times, can be very sort of overwhelming for students not from a big city. And what I'd like to say is our campus will give students a city life. So the university is right in the middle of the city. So they're not like a traditional campus life that you would, a lot of students probably would have imagined. So we are pretty much, in the city, and give students that metropolitan life and to enjoy what London has to offer. So this is our Holloway campus. So literally when students get out of the tube station, the university is right in front of you. So what you need to do is just to cross the road, and then you can have access to different buildings. So we have this Holloway Road is very long. So we have quite a lot of properties along the road, and students will have access to. So that's it. And also the picture, the red brick building, as you can see, is one of the entrance students can use to enter the university. So that's it. Let's move on to the next one, which is our Aldgate campus, I believe. So this is our Aldgate campus. So for our Aldgate campus, again, so because it's in the City of London, which is the financial centre, so which means that you can see how busy it could be. So this is one of the entrance of the campus. So the red brick building, as you can see, most of the classrooms here are being used for for studio practice. So students will have their own space within the university, so they don't have to work from their bedroom, and they can always come to the university to do their creative work. So yeah, so it's a very vibrant and diverse area. So let's move on to the next one. So I think I'm now going to show you a few facilities we have. So the first one is the learning center, and we don't like to call it a library, so we use a different word to describe library as a learning center. So we want students to view library has multiple purposes. So here students can do group work, can hire space to use for their own studies, and obviously they can also use computers and borrow books and etc. So our learning center is multi-purpose, I would say. So it provides students with a lot of extra functions, and where they can enjoy their studies while studying with us. So that's about our learning centers. And let's move on to the next one. So this is another picture about our learning center. So on the ground floor, so there's a lot of study space. Students can talk to each other, so they don't have to be quiet. So obviously when they move on to the second floor or the first floor and they can't talk anymore, so that would be independent study. Because as you know, in the UK, we had a lot of group work and students have to work as a group. So we provide that space for students to come together and work. So move on to the next one is our gym. So I wouldn't say much about our gym because, gym probably looks very similar to each other. We do have a lot of facilities we need to use. But what I want to mention is you don't have to pay anything for it. So if you are a full-time enrolled student, the gym is free to use and you can attend all kind of classes like yoga class, Pilates class, just to help you to keep fit because it is important to keep fit while studying. So that's about gym. So the next one is about courtyard, I think.
Yeah, I'm very interested about the gym because I'm very active as well. So where is the gym located? Is it in the school campus or near the student accommodation?
So it is in the campus, so student can come in and use all the facilities. We have, student, it's very easy to access anyway. So during COVID, the student will have to book appointment because we need to know who is coming and we need to ensure all the facilities are cleaned, ready for the next. So, but in the normal time, students should be able to walk in and just to use the facilities. Okay.
Oh, great.
So the next one is our courtyard. So as I mentioned, because although London space is limited and, but at the same time, I want to say to students that you still have enough space to use while you're at campus. So, even if you want to get out and get some fresh air, we have a courtyard for you to relax on. And also we have roof gardens. So where students can go, go to the top of the building and enjoy the view and relax. So, and also I want to say the UK weather is not as bad as you imagine. And I think sometimes information might be a little bit misleading. And we do have a lot of rain, but we certainly don't have the rain all the year round in London. So the UK is a small country, but as you travel across the country, you will see the weather change. But in London, in general, we have very good weather in comparison to the rest of the country. I wouldn't say probably it's not quite the same weather as where you're from, but yes, I think in the summertime, in general, we have a lot of sunshine and you will be able to enjoy a bit summer feeling as well. So that's about this to relax. So let's move on to the next one. Okay, so then some pictures for our classrooms. As you can see that, so the university spent a lot of money refurbishing all the classrooms to provide that modern experience. So, and also we understand the learning needs change. So a lot of classroom activities might need to change. So they're no longer just about sitting there listening to the tutor to talk to you. So we have a lot of classrooms with portable tables and chairs. Students can move them around to fit in for all kind of classroom activities. So just to give you some pictures, and also we have some interactive screens, and students can use them to enhance their learning experience. So that's about our classroom. So let's move on to the next one. Okay, so here are some key statistics for you. So in the UK, currently we have around over 9,000 students studying with us. So we are relatively smaller, but we do have a lot of transnational education programs overseas. So, if we add up that amount of students studying overseas, that would quite be a significant amount. But in the UK, we have about 9,000. And also we're very proud of our diversity and and inclusion. So we do have students coming from over 120 nationalities, but this does change from year to year depending on the intake. So obviously that's kind of fall into my team when we have to go and recruit students from all kind of countries. And also in terms of full-time, part-time, and so if you are an international student, you normally can only study full-time. But if you are looking to study a master program, then you may be able to study it as a part-time course, but then you will not have the right to work in the UK. So there's a difference. So if you're a full-time student, and you will be allowed to work 20 hours a week, but if you study part-time, then you are not allowed to work in the UK. So there's difference. So just that if that's something you worry and you might want to consider that. And also in terms of undergraduate and postgraduate split, so we have about 20% students studying postgraduate programs with us. And actually, if you're following all the rankings, and actually I haven't got a chance to update the slides, it just came over the week. So we actually has a much better ranking now in terms of our Guardian overall ranking. We jumped up about 31 places in the league tables, which we're very happy. And also, what I want to say to students is we put everything at heart where we're doing things. It is about your experience. We want you to have a great experience with London Met, and student satisfaction is important. And also, we are very proud to say a lot of our courses we received 100% student satisfaction, so which means students really enjoy the course. So I think that's one of the things I'd like to point it out when considering which university to go, and the student satisfaction is important. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. And also, obviously as a university, we do have a lot of graduates over the years. And also I just want to give you some examples. So we do have our graduates do go and to do amazing things afterwards. So here's some good examples for you to see. And we're very proud that our current London Mayor, Sadiq Khan, is one of our graduates. And because we just want to tell you that you will be able to do amazing things afterwards, as all our alumni do. So we have students going to different, all the big companies as you heard of, and also we have students involved with public life, and for example, work in politics, things like that. So you will have a range of opportunities afterwards. Okay, so that's about our notable alumni. And also in terms of courses, just want to give you a very brief update. So we do work with a lot of accreditations, so accreditation organizations, so which means when you graduate, you will be able to get additional qualifications. So not only just a degree from London Met, and for example, if you're interested in accounting and finance, our degree will be credited by ACCA. So if you're interested about psychology, and our course will be accredited by the British Psychological Society, and etc. So I'm not going to name all of them, but so don't worry, and a lot of courses will carry additional accreditations, which will give you the confidence about the program we're offering. So that's about a course accreditation. So let's move on. So here's the page where, just to give you a quick summary about why to choose London Met, but I'm not going to read, to explain everything here, but what I want to say is we really focus on careers, and so we have, we work with a particular organization called the Student Circus, which helps international students to find to find jobs in the UK. So if you're passionate about looking for jobs in the UK, and we will help you on that, so you will not be left alone. So we will supporting our international students getting jobs in the UK as well. Okay. So, and also another thing I would like to say is about the students who are passionate about running their own business in the UK, and we have an organization called Accelerator. So they provide all kind of support, helping students to run their business in the UK, and we run competitions, for example, and the highest award is £30,000 as a setup fund for students. So we do encourage students to participate in that competition as well. So we are very sort of, we want to, encourage more students to do things which is different. So please, if you're passionate about entrepreneurship, then please do that. So, and I believe the last 2 pages I have on my slides is about the quick review about our schools. And so we have 6 academic schools. So what I would like to say is, depends on what you want to do, but what I'd like to say is we have almost all kinds of subjects. So we simply don't do medicine and engineering, but we do all the rest. So here you can see the first 3 schools I'd like to introduce to you is our School of Business and Law. So as you can see what subjects are offered under that. And also the second one is our Computing and Digital Media. So we do traditional computer science, but equally we do creative side as well. And then the third one is our Human Sciences. So I would like to say is our dietetics and nutrition course are very, very popular. So if you are interested, please please do submit your application earlier. So the next slide, you will see another 3 schools. So Annie, can we move on to the next one, please? Thank you. So the first one is our School of Social Professions. So under this school, you will be able to study education, early childhood education, healthcare, and things like that. And then the second one is our social sciences. So that would be a traditional social sciences school, as you will be able to do international relations, politics, criminology, and etc. So the last school we have is our School of Art, Architecture, and Design. So under this school, and you will be able to do all kinds of creative subjects. So our architecture degree is really, really popular. I just want to point that out. And also, so as fashion. So if you're passionate about any sort of arts and design courses, and we will have something for you. So I think I'm going to stop here. Obviously I'd like to open up the floor and to take questions, and I'm conscious about time, so I'm just going to stop my introduction here, and I'd like to take some questions from you. So
all right. Thank you very much, Kayan. Yeah, we have some question here already from the Philippines. Hi, Kayan. Greetings from the Philippines. Do you accept Year 12 graduate and bachelor holder from the Philippines for direct entry for your undergraduate and postgraduate?
cool. And just bear with me, and I'm just opening up our entry requirements. I'm sorry, I don't have this off top, so I need to look at our entry requirements sheet. So just bear with me. But that's a good question. Thank you for asking that.
Yeah. In the meantime, while waiting for Kayan, if you guys have any question in particular, please type in the comments, and we'll go one by one with you. And me personally, I have quite a few questions for you as well, gathering from a lot of our partners in Vietnam.
So just to answer the first question from Philippines, and I just want to say is, so for our bachelor degree, as I can see, is we normally need to ask students to pass this Year 3 of a relevant bachelor degree in Philippines with a GPA of 2.75 or above in order to come onto our bachelor degree. And also, if student only completed grade 12 of high school, and also we needed them to complete need to complete the foundation year before they can be accepted onto our degree. And so I would say is student with year 12 of high school diploma, and they will need to do a foundation year with us first before they can progress onto the bachelor degree. And in terms of our master entry degree entry requirements, we would need a student with with a bachelor degree with a GPA of 2.75 or above. And also we have a list of universities we recognize, and I'm happy to share this with you afterwards if needed. So I think we have a limited sort of universities we recognize at the moment, but equally, and I would say to you is we haven't been actively recruiting from Philippines for a while, so obviously the entry requirements can be a little bit dated, and we're welcome for some feedback. So if you think our entry requirement is not reasonable, or you think or other institutions have been doing something different, and feel free to send that feedback for me, and I will be able to work with our admissions to change things for you. So what I want to say is we are flexible, and we want to get some honest feedback on entry requirements. But what I just said earlier is what we have at the moment.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for that question. That leads me to another question, that if student has to do the foundation program before getting direct entry to the bachelor program, because I know ECA is your pathway providers, right? So will it be a combined cast from the university?
Combined cast, yeah. So for all ECA. So the way we work with ECA is one-to-one progressions, which means they are one of our embedded college. So not the one-off, actually, the only embedded college we have. So we do offer joint CAS for students, but then depending on the student's English level, so in order to be eligible for joint CAS, they need to meet B2 level because we cast them at the degree level, so they get 4-year CAS. So, so it really depends on that English level. So if the English level is a bit lower, then they might need to do a English course first before they come onto the the foundation program. So yeah, in general, we do consider joint CAS, and because then students don't have to sort of apply for another visa afterwards. Yeah. So joint CAS is available.
Yeah, and joint CAS would be great. Save the student a lot of time to get another visa later.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, let's jump to another question from Ms. Hua. Can students apply for 2 majors at the same time?
In theory, yes, but we would not recommend that because that obviously, particularly if they're very similar to each other, because normally they are being dealt by one academic tutor. So in a sense that there's no need for you to apply for 2 programs, but in theory you can you can apply as many as you want, but we would not recommend that. But if a student view I definitely want to apply for 2 programs, and that's fine, and we will process that. But my advice is maybe apply for the one that you want, and you can request the change of program after submitting your applications. So I would say don't worry about it. So you can apply for the one that you most want to apply to, and then if you're if you're being rejected for that program, then you can try again. I would say that probably is a better approach.
All right. Hope that we answer your question, Ms. Hua. Another question coming from an Asian in the Philippines. Do you accept direct entry to master program for bachelor degree graduate from the Philippines?
Yes,
I think we answered
I
that.
answered that question before. So yes, we do, but we accepted from a limited number of institutions we have on our list. So I'm happy to share that list afterwards. But yes, so we do, but it depends on which university they studied in Philippines.
Yeah, sure. So after this live stream, we will share with you the list so you can share with your student. Which leads to another question that I have for you. What if the students study at the university that is not on the list? Is there an alternative way for students to
So I think
apply?
we also have pre-masters, which is offered through ECA, and I think there will be a possibility for students to consider the pre-master program first. And our pre-masters can be really short; it will be 6 months to 3 months. So it depends on where they are, and then I'm sure there will be a right program for them to take. And so there's always a way to come to the London Met, I would say. But I think we are still working through and setting up all this relevant information on the website, and hopefully we can share that ECA's pre-degree programs with you guys, and then you will feel more confident in counseling students as well afterwards.
Okay, thank you. Another question from our partners in the Philippines. I think after this session, you might look into start up more activity in the Philippines again, because we got a lot of questions. How much is the deposit to secure a slot at London Met or to get a CAS?
Cool. And so we request students to pay £3,000 as a deposit. So in order to the process we have at the moment is once students get a conditional offer, they will be told they need to pay a £3,000 as a deposit. So students shouldn't be paying the deposit until they've been asked to do that. So we will, in order to avoid, a refund, for example, if student not meeting the requirements and all that kind of back forth communication. So we would do that by inviting students to pay deposit. So once student has uploaded all the documents they need to meet their conditions outlined in their offer letter, so then they will receive an email called "You can now pay your deposit." So students then need to pay deposit and upload the receipt to demonstrate they have done so, and our finance will confirm the payment. So once that has been done, student will receive an unconditional offer from the university, and then they will progress on to the CAS stage where they can prepare for their visa application. So that's the process. So in short, £3,000 is the amount student to pay before they clear first term tuition fees.
All right. Thank you so much for confirming. It's not a like a huge amount, right? It's just right for students to get the cash, to get a spot at London Met.
And also, I think it's the deposit is it will be deducted from students' first fee payments anyway. So it's not additional to tuition fees. It's part of the fees. So if they paid and then they don't have to demonstrate that through their financial documents for their visa applications afterwards. So in any ways, and students should have the fund in their bank statement, because otherwise they won't be able to get their student visa. So yes, I would say it's not unusual. Quite a lot of universities do ask for deposit.
Okay, thank you. I hope Kayan answered your question. The next two questions is sort of quite similar, because at the moment in Vietnam and the Philippines, we're sort of still in lockdown or semi-lockdown. So to take the IELTS test or PT test is quite difficult. So the question is, do you have any internal English test to test student level of English before joining the course?
Yeah, so unfortunately, we don't offer any internal English test for our students, and that sounds might be quite harsh, and we understand it might be quite difficult for students to take English exam during COVID. But I think, having said that, and I think we understand IELTS, for example, they offer an online version anyway. So there's the IELTS indicator student can take. So we would encourage students to consider that, and we do accept IELTS indicator. And also student can take TOEFL IBT home edition as well. So we do accept 2 additional online tests in addition to the traditional test we normally accept. But for the time being, I would say is we don't offer any internal English test for students. So we're sorry about that. But as in, having said that, is student can take any other alternative online test to meet our English requirements. So,
Yes.
And if there's any changes, obviously we will be communicating that to our agents.
Yeah. I have another question. Is that beside TOEFL IBT home edition and IELTS indicator, do you accept PT online or Duolingo as well
So
as alternative?
I'm not. I mean, I haven't heard that we accept PTE online. This hasn't been approved as far as I'm concerned. But we don't accept Duolingo. So for Duolingo, the university doesn't consider it as a secured or accurate test for English ability. So currently we don't accept Duolingo, and we would not encourage students to consider Duolingo as a test, because I think we do have some serious concerns about that. And I think as an institution, although we do have our rights to assess students' English ability, but for us is because there's a particular regulations from Home Office which we have to follow. We have to ensure that all students' English ability being assessed according to the standards and the requirements. So I think in that front, and I think we have been a bit careful in terms of which test we were to consider. So yeah, so I think and I think we are looking to sort of thinking about developing our own English test, because that has been sort of being discussed. So obviously, if there's any changes, and we will be communicating that to everybody. And but for the time being, we're sorry we haven't got our own English test for students to take. Then we would encourage you to consider IELTS indicator or TOEFL IBT home edition.
Okay, I think those are quite popular option here in Vietnam and the Philippines anyway. So yeah, please do consider this option. And moving on to the next question, I think this partner already have an inquiry for you. So do you accept the student who want to apply for second master? He already got the first master in the UK.
Yeah, in general, yes. So the student will need to go back to their home country to apply for the student visa. So they won't. So to put it very simple, student will not be able to apply for their second student visa in the UK. They will have to leave the UK and come back again. So the visa has to be made outside the UK. And also, obviously, for student who wants to do second masters, and they will need to explain very carefully in their personal statement to tell us why they need to do a second master and how this linked with their first masters. So we do have a lot of students actually doing second master with us. So it is possible, but student will have to justify the reasons, in order to persuade our immigration team to believe this is genuine interest in the UK and because of their academic passion. So we would say is a personal statement has to be really good and focuses on the subject you're applying for and then really explain the reason. So that would be my advice. And I think, but having said that, we do have a lot of students applying for second masters. So it's actually quite common nowadays.
All right. I hope we answer your question and looking forward to your application, and we can support you with the statement in explaining to study your second master. Moving on to the next question. What is the minimum amount of dollars in the bank statement required to issue the joint cash from foundation?
So I cannot give you an exact number because it really depends on the course they're doing and the length of their course. So you don't need to worry about it. Once student moved on to cash stage, our immigration team will let you know, and then basically we will verify the bank statement. So what the student, and I can send you a link, so give you some guidance on sort of the the funds they need to provide in their I'm not sure if I share a link through the chat. Do you think that all the audience will see it?
Yep.
Okay, so here's the link that will give you some brief introduction to the documents and financial requirements for student visa. So in short, is basically your student need to cover, they need to demonstrate having enough fund for the course and all the maintenance required. And also because we are living in, so we are obviously because we are an institution based in London, so the maintenance fees are relatively higher. So if they, if a student will be studying a course lasting for 9 months or more, the minimum amount they need to have is £12,006 as a maintenance fund, and that also student also need to consider about the course fees. So that would be £12,006 plus the remaining course fees they need to pay to the university. So that would be the minimum amount of money they need to have in their bank account. As I mentioned is earlier, once student at CAS stage, they will be provided very specific information from our immigration team, and they will be checking all the documents for you. So you shouldn't need to worry about it. And also the the money has to be in the bank for 28 days. So that has to be this is the period of time the student has to demonstrate. So all to say is maybe prepare that in advance. So that would help to speed up the process a bit for you.
Thank you so much, Kayan. That's very great in details. And I think as far as application goes, because we have experience sending students to London Metropolitan University before. The immigration team have great experience and have advised us every step of the way. So no worries, guys. Also, last question on our comment. Can the students study online if they can't travel now? What services are there to support them?
Okay, so that's kind of expected questions I'm being asked all the time. So it's very awkward. I mean, it's a very awkward position we find ourselves in. So let me put it in this way. So UK is fully open. So our borders are open, and we all the restrictions we had has been eased. So we don't have any restrictions anymore in the country in a sense. So we are back to normal, if you like. So we are actually running all our courses from the campus from September, and actually this Friday and this Thursday and Friday, which is tomorrow, and I will be running my first in-person international orientation for our international students. So we are encouraging our students to come to the UK, and that's the message. We want you to come, and we want you to come as soon as possible. So for students who can't come, and they need to contact us, because not all programs are available for students to study remotely. So it depends on the program they're doing, because particularly if they're doing any highly practical courses, so which means you need to, for example, use a lab, use our studio space, and you will not have the same experience while doing that remotely. So we would still want you to come. So that's the reason the student can still apply for visa and etc. So the message is, we would want you to come, but we also understand that there might be issues you cannot come. So due to the flight restrictions, so for example, you can't get any flight to the UK and etc., you can start your course remotely, and then come to the UK when you can. But this has to be agreed by your school. So that's the reason we would say is we will have to look at your case on an individual basis, and we have to discuss that with the school, and because we need to contact your your course leader, and to make sure that it is possible for you to start remotely. And also for all the for students start remotely, currently we don't have live lecture for students because of time difference. Because most of students from this September will be at the campus. So because of time difference, so there won't be any live lectures. There will be recordings for students to rewatch. So in that sense, we would again say starting remotely probably doesn't give students the best experience about London Met, so we would want students to travel to the UK as soon as possible. And also I want to quickly update you about the COVID measures we have at the university. And we also understand students from different countries, they may have different worries and concerns about COVID. So first of all, if you haven't received any vaccines from your country, that's fine. You can travel, because there's no requirement from the UK government for you to take vaccines before traveling to the UK. So you can, once you have received your visa, once you are in the UK, and regardless of your immigration status in the UK, you will get a free vaccine. So you will be eligible for vaccines in the UK. So that would help you and then protect our community at the same time. So we would encourage you to consider that and to take. And also, right next to the university, we have Emirates Stadium. Currently, is being used as a vaccination center. So you can walk there and get your vaccine immediately if you like. So we would say is vaccination is one of the things we would encourage our students to do. And secondly, we do have different measures we take. So at the university, we have 2 COVID testing centers. So for me, for example, every week I go in, I need to provide a negative COVID test to the university reception, because otherwise they wouldn't let me in. So you can get yourself tested at home, and because you can order free test kit being posted to your home, then you can do your test at home. Or if you forget about that, and you will be able to be tested at the university. So before you enter the university, you'll be asked to go to our test center to get yourself tested, because without a negative test result, we won't let you in. And also we would encourage students to wear face masks while they're moving around the campus. So that could be a bit challenging at times, but we would want you to wear it. Sorry, and we want you to be responsible for the rest of the people who are using the space at the same time, because we want to create a COVID-free environment for everybody. And also, obviously, during the time, if you realize that you have any symptoms and you realize that you may have COVID, and we would want you to stay at home and report that, and we'll be providing support to you. And also, as a university, we understand that the UK government has different policies. This changes from time to time. So we would always encourage students to check before traveling, check the travel guidance from the UK government website. And so currently we have a traffic light system being introduced, so which is called red, amber, and green. So all the countries, depending on the COVID situations, the government has classified them into different category. So if you are from a red list country, and unfortunately you will need to do a 10-day hotel quarantine. So which means once you arrive, then you will be picked up by the hotel, and then you will have to stay in the hotel for 10 days. So the university will provide some financial support. So we will pay up to £1,750 to cover some of your hotel quarantine costs. And if you are from the amber list, and I believe in most of the countries currently on the amber list, so which means you will be asked to do a compulsory self-isolation at your own accommodation. So please don't take a chance to believe that no one will check on you. So I can be 100% sure you will be called, you will be checked, and some people will walk to your home and knock on the door and check if you are at home quarantine. So please make sure that once you arrive, and you do follow the guidance and to complete your quarantine. And also we will as a university, then again, we will send you a care package. We understand you may have difficulties to go to supermarket and to get things you need. So we'll be sending some care package to you and to support you, throughout the period of the time. So we will try our best to support. I understand it is difficult because of the situation we're in, but we will try our best to support. And my guidance to students traveling to the UK for the first few days, and maybe bring some food with you as well. Maybe some instant noodles, for example, just, you may need it at times. But because then we are trying to arrange the care package to be sent to you as soon as possible. But at the same time, you may need something for your first day, for example. So that would be my personal advice. And again, the government is reviewing the policies, and this may change. But what I'm talking to you now is about what we have at the moment. But if there's any changes, and I'm sure we will be communicating that as well. And also, you maybe find it in the news anyway. So that's about COVID update. And sorry, because it is very important that we want you to understand the COVID policy we have. And also to give you that confidence in coming to the UK.
Yeah, thank you for sharing, Kayan. It's exciting to have students back on campus.
Yeah, so we have quite a lot of, as I mentioned, all the students are expecting to be back at campus from September. So we're looking forward to have some normal teaching as well. Yeah. And I think we're very excited to see people in 3D, rather than on your screen. And also, I think, for me, for example, I go to university twice a week. So I went to university yesterday. So we are going back to work from the office from time to time now. So this is, so I think it's, and I think what I would say is bring some face masks, of course. And I think, buying face masks can be very expensive and pricey in the UK. So where you are from, probably is cheaper. And take get plenty of face masks with you. And I find it really useful. And I think, keep use hand sanitizer where possible. Just be careful. And when you go onto public transportation, I would always wear a face mask, and just to make sure that, I protect others and also protect myself. So I would say face masks, although it's not compulsory anymore, you don't have to wear it. But I would say is wearing it, you will find it useful. So, and also I think the UK government has also a app where you can use. So that app will, is on your phone. So where you go. So if you have been in close contact with any COVID positive people, you will receive notification, and then they will provide you with guidance. You need to answer a few questions, and they will tell you if you need to self-isolate or you can go out. So you will be given individual support on that. So we would encourage students, once they are here, and download that app, because that also will help you to have some sort of normalities when you go into society and meeting people you don't know.
Oh, thank you for the tip, Kayan. Instant noodles and face masks, guys. Let's take note. Yeah, going back to the university program, one thing that we haven't covered yet is that is the university offering any scholarship at the moment for students?
Yes, so for our January intake, obviously for September intake, we haven't decided what we are going to offer, but for January intake and January 2022, so student will be able to apply for our international excellence scholarships, which is up to £2,500 fee discount. So there is a separate application process. So what we need to do is students need to apply for the chosen degree course first, and they need to hold an offer from the chosen degree program before they can apply for scholarships. So don't apply for scholarships straight away. So you will need to apply for the degree programs, and until you have been given a conditional offer, you shouldn't be applying for it. So that's about this January scholarship offering. So we would encourage students to apply. If you already have a conditional offer or unconditional offer, then please do apply for it. So we will consider your application. I think the deadline, we haven't agreed on the deadline yet, but I'm aiming to open up all the application process from October, so students can start to submit their application from October, and we're trying to close the application probably towards the end of November. And then the assessment period will take place during the first 2 weeks of December, because we want to get everything sorted before Christmas break. And also we want to let you know is there's a Christmas break, so the university will be closed during the period of time. But good news is this year our immigration team and the compliance team will be working over the Christmas period. But obviously don't expect people to work on, say, Christmas Day, so that's public holiday, so people probably, that day probably will be closed. But we have been putting more resources into the Christmas period, and then applicants or agents should be provided the information they need during the period of time. So that's a good news as well. And when I heard that, it was a great news, because we understand the Christmas period can be really, really busy for all of us, because January intake is not far.
Yeah, definitely. And hopefully the student will get the scholarship that will really help with the current situation, and they can fly and join the campus in January.
Yeah, absolutely. So we would encourage more students to apply for scholarships. Yeah.
All right. I think that's a lot of questions to cover, and thank you so much, Ken, for your answer in great details, and also sharing with us the link that will be helpful for our partners to have a look at. And if our partners having more questions for you, we will make sure we will send it and get back to you. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we hope to see you on campus very soon. And thank you everyone for joining us from the Philippines, from Vietnam, and we hope to see you in person soon. Have a lovely evening, guys, and have a great day, Ken.
Thank you very much. Thank you everybody for having me today, and I'm absolutely delighted to have this. To deliver this session and to answer all the questions. And feel free to ask any questions through GSP, and I'm sure they'll pass it on to me, and we will give you all the answers that you need. Okay, so have a lovely evening, everybody, and speak to you guys soon.
Yeah, see you guys.
Bye.